The Kenshin crossover has come and it's about to be gone. And with me now using all of the characters, even though we didn't do the Kenshin showcase, that will be coming at a later date. And I'll talk about why. I am now going to finally rank all of these, considering who is the best and who is the worst from this crossover. There's only 4 units this time compared to Sura, which had so many. So we're really going to be able to knock these out, I feel like, relatively quickly. Sakura really was a unit that I didn't like on first glance. I remember seeing his initial information on top of like gameplay and everything, and I really wasn't sold on this character. Fast forward, he releases on global, start using him. I see the power. I see the vision. This is one of the only units, well actually no, I think he is the only character that actually ramps up super art damage. No other character does that, and I guess you could say combat form Malim technically does it, but he actually is giving like a legit buff. It's not just a raw increase to his multiplier. You can get this guy hitting insanely hard, and under certain conditions, he could be one of the hardest hitters in the entire game. He has defense ignore as well, so he doesn't have to worry about critting the boss, and he doesn't have to worry about his damage ever being shut down, unless you fight a boss that maybe has like physical resist or water resist. The more and more you use this character, the more and more like you start trying to optimize him and start trying to get higher and higher damage numbers to the point to where you're seeing 30 million plus every single hit of his super art, which I find very enjoyable. I don't think he's at his strongest yet. I think we actually need to wait just a little bit of time for someone like Orville to come out, because the amount of BE and Archgen he's able to provide will help this guy be even faster at ramping up his super art damage. But for right now, you know, if you combine him with like Shadow and Hoka or whoever else on like a singular boss, there's no way that boss isn't getting absolutely clapped. The only thing I wish Sakura had some type of reload / refund mechanic, very similar to that of Summer Ilya. That would have benefited this character so much if he just had the 150 arc gauge refund after he uses super art like 2 or 3 times. Would have loved that, but unfortunately we didn't get that. He is just a damage dealer at the end of the day, and I think he might be the worst character from this crossover. I may switch this. I may have different versions of this tier list by the end of this, and I'll show you in just a second what I'm talking about here. Next is going to be Makoto. Now Makoto is a demon. This man is a straight demon. He has a lot of conditions, which is a thing that turns a lot of people off, but I don't think his conditions are that hard to hit. You have to be low on HP, which he's able to do that. He needs to be burning, so he gets more damage, which he's able to burn himself thanks to his super art. And if you want to make use of his damage res buff he applies to the team, you need to inflict the boss with some type of status effect, whether that be burn, poison, disease, it does not matter. Some type of status effect has to be on the boss, so you get the 30% DR buff. And I guess lastly, he wants to be on a mono fire team because his passive art shit and stuff. Another thing is that you want some type of taunt tank or barrier on him to make sure that he deals as much damage as possible and not get clapped. Kirisame is a great partner with him. Gamagori is great. Gerald can even be used. Shiro Emiya is okay as well, but you just have to really be on top of your barrier. And once you have all that, the last like 2 characters on the team are just archgeners. But there is one thing I will say about this guy more so than anything. God, do I think he's one of the worst units for new players. As a new player, I think it's kind of overwhelming to y'all. If we said, okay, this is a character you guys want to use, you need to be near death. You need to make sure that you are able to burn yourself. You need to make sure that you have 2 archgeners, a taunt tank. That seems very overwhelming if I told you that, to make this character work. And I wouldn't want to do that to a new player. I would much rather you guys take, for an example, FM Hart. I prefer a character like that over someone like Makoto, who is very hyper offensive focused and very much like hard grained into just, I want to be near death. Put me near death and let me work. He is the 3rd best unit from this crossover. Arguably, as a new player, I would say that he's actually the worst, and Sakura is a bit better than him, because Sakura at least gives your team burst of archgen every single art. Sure, Makoto has that too with his passive, but it's only to fire allies. And let's be honest, if you're starting the game right now, there is no other fire ally for you to get apart from Makoto. And now for the 2 big boys. Oh Lord. Kenshin is really strong at the moment, like very, very good. Not only is just a monolight demon, but also in various other things. I've been seeing a lot of people, especially on the JP side, start running this guy alongside other characters that provide DR buffs as leaders. So like, for an example, I've seen people run 2 light human characters, so Kenshin and let's say the new hero Saitama on JP, with like Wargothin and Hoka. With that exact setup, you are having all humans on the team, which is very beneficial because with all humans in your party. You're getting the max duration of DR buff, but since the 2 light units are there, you're getting 20% DR on top of War God Finn's 30% DR for the first 30 seconds. So as soon as you load into the quest, you have 50% DR. On global, right now we can run something that is like Kenshin, BF Emperor, Summer Chloe, and we can end that bad boy off with either a Senki or even a Star God Lisa and be perfectly fine with that setup. Or if we wanted some type of bear, throw a Saiger in there and you'll be very good. Of course, later on, we'll be getting a lot more characters added to this Monolight team. Like, we'll be able to use stuff like Masette. We'll also be able to use Orvel D. Grand Verge, and even the new Saitama, which is a very strong character. So this guy has a lot of longevity in the game. He's going to be very strong for a very long time, and we're going to see a lot of compositions come out from Monolight teams to, I guess we will call it the duo DR limit, where you have 2 characters that give you DR for a certain amount of time. Really good stuff here, and honestly, Kenshin is one of the best characters that I've seen released. Arguably the number 2 in this crossover. However, I think over time, he will become the number 1 character from the Kenshin crossover. Because right now, the number 1 is Saito Hajime. I just cannot stress this enough how stupid Saito Hajime is. Almost everything in the game just falls to this guy right now. He has one of the most broken passives ever. It gets even crazier once you factor in he has 150% DR down on that super art. So as soon as you pop it, just boom, anything in the game just dies. It doesn't even matter what it is. Everything in front of you just gets absolutely annihilated. Especially in the mines where he can just pretty much one-shot stuff. I'm on floor 140 something right now, and he's still one-shotting the bosses with his super art. He's really good as an arch general. He has 30 arts on his true art. Plus, he also lowers physical res by 100%. His art is able to give everybody on his team stats up as long as they're a human. He gets even more stats, which is very good. And now the question is, whenever you see Saito Hajime, is how long is it till someone comes out that kind of is on the same level as Saito Hajime? Really, the only fault to this guy is that he doesn't have innate defense ignore or innate crit chance. So this is my list. If you're a brand new player, the only thing that would switch is that Makoto would be arguably the worst character, while Sakura is a bit better. I think he's a bit easier to manage as a new player than someone like Makoto. But hey, you guys tell me down below what you all think about Kenshin. Did you like this crossover? Are you still kind of mixed on it, or how do you feel? Me, myself, I really love the characters from this crossover. I think we had a great turnout with everyone. But if you enjoyed this video, hey man, check out this video right here. I have no clue what it is, but I know it's pretty good. So I'll meet you over there. But one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.